Alright, I got another new CVLIFE LPVO for you here, low power variable optic. This one is the Eagle Feather 1:8 by 24, which I have already reviewed a 1:8 by 24 from them, and when they asked me if I wanted to review this, I was like, well, wait a minute, you guys already sent me a 1:8 LPVO, but this one's slightly different, namely mostly just the reticle. It has a different reticle in it, but just to go over the features real quick, as I said, 1:8 power zoom, comes with this cantilever mount, illuminated red-green reticle in there, flip up scope caps, you got a diopter back here, 1/2 inch clicks at 100 yards, and 2 included batteries for the illumination goes under here. As I said, red or green. Definitely show you guys some of that. And being the LPVO, they give you the see-through flip caps there. It's a 30 millimeter tube, and it gives you 60 MOA of adjustment for windage and elevation. Now, one thing I found interesting about this is also different, I believe. I believe it was in the instructions here. You know, they say sight it for 100 yards is normal. And where does this show it here? There we go, yeah. So the center dot, it shows you 0 for 100, and the center dot's for not only 100 yards, but also 200 yards. I find that interesting because you do have a little bit of bullet drop, but not a whole lot at 200 yards. Compared to if you 0 for 100. I believe this is the 55 grain. Yep, 55 grain is 3.2 low at 200 if you 0 for 100. And it's 3.6 low, I think, with a 62 grain. You can 0 it, and it's going to work for either one of those loads. So I found that interesting because I noticed myself with LPVOs with the BDC reticle here that gives you the holdover marks that I can use the, you know, center 100-yard dot at 200 because, again, it's only a 3-inch difference unless you're trying to, you know, snipe a gopher or something like that. But I found it interesting that they did that. And then, so what would normally be a 200-yard mark under your 100-yard mark, they're saying 300, and then 400, 5, and 6. So their BDC holdover marks for 223, 556, as is this one, always lined up for me, so we'll see if this one does as well, with it being slightly different with that center one supposedly being for 100 and 200 yards. We'll take her down the range and see how she lines up. Alright, here's my first few shots after I got it close to 0, down here at 100 yards, and I'm aiming at the little red dot on the right. Alright, so you can see there it's just averaging a little bit off to the right, so made a few adjustments, and then I went for the red dot on the top of the target. So that first shot I pulled exceptionally high, so that was my fault. But you can see the next 3 there are all pretty close to touching, just above the red dot. But since that, like I said, that center dot, they advertised it as being for 100 and 200 yards, even though I showed that you should have about a 3-inch drop from 100 to 200. I left it high there, assuming that it was going to otherwise drop low at 200 if I did not. So here's my first shots at 200 yards. So as you guys probably saw there, it was averaging high on the gong, which is what I thought I was seeing through the scope too, but I wasn't 100% sure. So I went over here and I just took some shots at whatever this white thing is to see whether it was hitting right about there or if it was in fact high. So as you just saw, every shot was in fact a few inches high there, and how about that accuracy? So that was my fault because I left it high at 100 yards because I believed it would drop at 200, but they must know something I didn't. So I gave it a few clicks down and took a few more shots at it to see if I got it where it should be at 200 yards there. So now that I got it properly zeroed, as I should have had in the first place if I would have only just listened to their instructions, here's a few quick shots at 300, and stay tuned because I'm going to show you the reticle and illumination on this guy. Oh, and by the way, I would have tried it at 400 and 500 yards for you guys as well, but it was an absolute wreck down here. There's no way I would have made it in my little sports car. I would have got stuck for sure. And here's what I was dealing with, so you can see there's no exaggeration. I almost got stuck right here, just trying to turn around and get back up to the benches to make those shots. And the further down you go here, it gets worse and worse. So like I said, otherwise I would have went 400 and 500, but I can assure you guys, I've reviewed several of their scopes before. Check out the parts, accessories, and optics playlists on the channel to see all that. But I have reviewed several of their scopes with the BDC reticle calibrated for 5.56 like we're shooting here today, and they've always lined up right where they should at 400 and 500 yards. So I have no doubt that these are going to line up out there at the further ranges like they should. Now here's the images I could manage to get for you guys through the scope with my camera. It looks way better in person. Absolutely crystal clear and crisp image, and the reticle and everything. So it's just how bad it looks trying to get pictures with the camera. But here we are at 100 yards on 1x, so 0 magnification. And then here we are at 100 yards on the full 8x, which is maximum magnification, and you can see it really zooms you in there. So this thing's definitely true to magnification. And then there's that 300 yard mound I was shooting at on 1x magnification. And down here, for size reference, that is a 55-gallon drum barrel, and that's on 8x magnification. So once again, it brings you way closer. And then here is the illuminated reticle with the red, as you can see there, true daytime bright. Currently looking at 300 yards out there. It's on 1x magnification. And here's the green as well on 1x magnification. And again, remember, it looks way better in person than through these images here on the camera. And then I zoomed in for you guys down there at 300. There's with the red, and then there's with the green. So I have no complaints. Once again, another great LPVO for the price. Link in the description if you want to check this one out. You know, it held 0 for me. It allowed me to shoot accurately. The BDC lines marked up like they're supposed to, like they always do with this brand. Crystal clear glass and reticle, true to magnification, included mount and rings, and daytime bright illumination. What else can you ask for? So again, if you want to check it out for yourself, link in the description. Don't forget to check out the parts, accessories, and optics playlist for more videos like this. If you guys want to get yourself any of the products you see me use in my videos, like my shooting bag there, steel targets I use, paper target stand, and more, links in the description for all of that. Thanks for stopping by and checking this one out today, and I hope to catch you on the next one.